All right, here we go. Me and Ethan are starting our first adventure ride together. Starting out in Mountain Green, headed up over Trappers Loop to Huntsville. Let's close this here. Then when we get up to Huntsville, we're gonna head over Monte Cristo, head north all the way to Bear Lake. So this should be fun. Well, we are clear up top on Monte Cristo now. We've been driving on the road for, it seems like 45 minutes or more. Just waiting to get to our turn off onto dirt. Alright, we just turned off the highway. See on the map here, this is Curtis Creek, I believe. So this is our first venture into the dirt on our little trip here. Right here we are, starting on dirt on Curtis Road. Me and Ethan all loaded down. Got my new knobby tires on. They do well on the highway. Motoz Tractionator dual venture on the front. The Motoz Tractionator Adventure on the back. Both of them tubeless. Clear up top here. Look at that view. Well, one thing's for sure. The feel of riding a bike like this one. Of course, it's completely loaded down not only with the weight of the bike, but with all my luggage on it. It's a completely different feel than riding a dirt bike in something like this. In a way, it has a more planted feel, just because it does have that heavy, that low center of gravity that this KTM 890 has. I've got my knobby tires on too, and Ethan still has the, he doesn't have the, we figured out he doesn't have the stock tires. The stock tires, I think, were TKC 70 that comes on that KTM 390. Now he's running some kind of Metzler Torrance or something like that. What the sign said was the Arbs, not Abs, but Arbs Basin. It's gorgeous up here. Looks like just a dispersed camping area. Of note, the section they were on right now, this Trail 59, which is part of, I think, Curtis Creek Road. This is part of the Utah Backcountry Discovery Route, where we turned off of Highway 9 in Monte Cristo. That is where we joined on to this segment of the Backcountry Discovery Route, which I think is segment 6 that goes from, I think it goes from Evanston to Garden City. So right now we are riding part of the Utah BDR, which has been one of my goals when getting an adventure bike. Still cruising along Curtis Creek Road. Trail's been pretty good, very big bike friendly. So far I'm impressed with the tires. Haven't done anything really gnarly yet, but they feel a lot better than the Avon tires that I had, the stock tires, when you're in gravel and rocks. Been feeling a little under the weather since yesterday. I wasn't feeling well yesterday or this morning, so we were debating whether to go or whether to wait one more day. But the weather was showing good for the Bear Lake area. It's a holiday weekend, 24th of July, which is Pioneer Days in Utah. The day it's celebrated for when the Mormon pioneers came into the Utah Valley. So it's a 3-day weekend, and I want to take advantage of that. Notice that my warning light came on the way up here. My bike hit 600 miles, which is when you're supposed to have the first service. I thought I still had a couple hundred miles to go, or else I might have done it early. Alright, 60. But I must say that this is just really relaxing, just to kind of cruise at our own pace on these Forest Service roads. It's beautiful out here. The temperature's great. You notice I did take my windshield extension off here. Well, you may not notice that, but I didn't want to ride with that on, and I lowered the windshield one position. I wanted to see what the wind buffeting was like on the highway with that one lower. Some guys have said that, you know, they've done better with it in the low position than in the high position. Because in the high position, definitely hit me right where I didn't want to, so I put on the little extension, which did help. But I don't like looking through that. I like seeing, you know, the road uninhibited without that piece of plastic that gets dirty and dusty in front of me. So like I said, I did put my windscreen in one lower position. I didn't notice significant worse buffeting when we were doing the highway stretch. Wow, look at that view. Oi, mate. Wow, look at that. That's amazing. Apparently that's Bug Lake right there, I think. That little pond. That's where we continue on the Utah Backcountry Discovery Route, which is what we're doing. Alright, we've come to a crossing the road. And there's an $800 fine if you trespass on either side of the road. Anyway, we just came out of a canyon up over there. This is all on the left and right sides of the road here, private land. There was a big sign back there and I missed it. I thought I was recording. It said the Scott Johnson Ranch. So Scott, I want to know why you didn't tell me you had a ranch up here where I'd be riding. Maybe we stop for the night, have some chuck wagon. Temple Canyon and Bear Lake Summit this way. 89, that's where we're headed. Well, we got to a turn off here. We're going right, would have taken us down to Bear Lake faster, looks like. But I am going to follow my original Bear Lake Summit Highway, okay. My original plan, which again, this is still part of the Utah Backcountry Discovery Route. Backcountry Discovery Route. The BDR route. It's redundant. Okay, this gravel road we're on right here is the one that's leading up to Highway 89 that drops down into Bear Lake. And it's just really fine gravel. This is the kind of stuff I was riding a couple weeks ago when I was at Strawberry Reservoir, and I had the original, the stock tires on. And this is the kind of stuff that, you know, I didn't feel super comfortable in. It kind of squirmed around on this. It's a lot more planted, it feels, with these Motoz tires. I do notice, Ethan and I were talking about traction control, whether to turn it on or off, because we both put our bikes into, you know, off-road mode, off-road ABS and the off-road drive mode. But I left my motorcycle traction control on, and I do notice it on washboard when I'm starting to, I can't see jack. Blinded for just a moment there. Anyway, I do notice when going over washboard on roads like this, that I can tell from a power perspective that it's trying to compensate for the tire spin, the loss of traction on the washboard. So I want to turn it off and see what that feels like. Still cruising along this same road we've been on for a long time, headed towards Highway 89. There's Highway 89. I do see it now. Dun dun dun. Here we are. So we keep hearing this noise. We're like, what is that? But when we look up here, it's all the sheeps. Look at all of them up there. That's not the one on the BDR. There's one down the road a little bit here. That's pretty steep and off camber for big adventure bikes. So I think they purposefully didn't put that one on the BDR map. See right here. There's actually a tunnel that goes under the road here. Comes up over there. There's that section, or you can just go down Highway 89 here and turn off left and drops you down. It's like an ATV trail all the way down to here. Okay, now we're on that ATV trail it told us to be on to bypass some of Highway 89. And oh, there's Bear Lake out there. There we are, the scenic beauty of Bear Lake. It's gorgeous. Sun's going down, looks like 8:30. It took us longer to get here actually than I thought. We got a really late start though. We didn't actually get on the trail until like 4:30, something like that. Garden City, our final destination. See these Motoz tires I have on here, in these curves on this hill? I don't notice them at all. I mean, it feels smooth, it feels good. We're headed to Lake Town, where we're gonna go get something to eat first. Then we're headed to Lake Town. No way, look at that line. We camped here on this lawn last night. My brother knows some people that own this place right here, so it was getting dark. We hadn't had dinner, so instead of trying to find a place up in the mountains where there were a lot of people on our way through, we just came down here and camped. It was nice, the weather was perfect. Just headed out of Lake Town, headed north alongside Bear Lake, following my brother and his new Bronco. We're gonna go check out a beach just because Ethan's never been to Bear Lake before. We had to come through some sand, which really sucked. I was squirming all over the place. You can see my brother and his new Bronco there managed to get himself stuck in the sand, so Ethan and I opted to stop right here on the hard packed sand and not try to venture in here where the Bronco just got itself stuck, because I really don't want to have to pick up my bike or dig it out. Alright, we left Bear Lake. We're back up to the Forest Service Trail where we got off yesterday. Just off of Highway 89 here. Oh yeah, gotta put my bike in off-road mode. Off-road. First, deactivate kill switch. Okay. Off-road ABS. Alright. Ready? Yeah. Anyway, my thoughts at the moment on this busy road with a whole bunch of campers on it, taking up the whole entire road, is with regards to navigation. So I'm using the Gaia GPS app on my phone, which I really like. I have the subscription for Gaia that I pay. It's like $35 a year or something like that. It allows you to have a whole bunch of different layers to use. I can run it on my smartphone, and what I like about it is how easy it is to use. I mean, it's as easy to use as a smartphone, right? You've got, you know, one finger drag around, you've got pinch and zoom, you've got all the full functionality of a smartphone. Whereas with a GPS device like a Garmin, now I have a Garmin Oregon, and I used it for backpacking for years until I switched to Gaia. And the one thing I didn't like about the Garmin, and I'm not sure if like the Zumo XT, which I know is a really popular motorcycle GPS unit, I'm not sure if it's any better than it was before, but trying to create routes or do anything on the device itself was just such a pain. I mean, the touchscreen capability of it was terrible. you know, trying to do anything on it was just worthless. And then if you use the Garmin, the map software, is it MapQuest or Map, I don't know, can't remember what it's called, but you could do things on there and build your routes beforehand, which I like to do. It's almost mandatory if you're using the Garmin GPS. And that was fine, but I switched to using Gaia. And if you put your smartphone into airplane mode when you're backpacking or off the beaten path somewhere, you know, it doesn't disable GPS capability. It constantly uses GPS capability. And if you download the maps beforehand, so you can drag an area and select, you know, which maps you want, and it saves them to the device, which is, you know, effectively what a Garmin device does. It has all the maps saved on the device. Then your phone will last. I've had it last for, you know, several days in that mode, in airplane mode, doing GPS, depending upon how much you pull it out and use it. Then you just take a little battery pack to recharge it, and I really like that. Now, the one thing I found yesterday, which I haven't remembered encountering very much up till now, is when Ethan and I were riding on the highway and it was bright outside. You know, I had the screen brightness on my iPhone up all the way, but I could barely see the maps. It was hard to see it, and you know how it is on an iPhone or on an iPad when you're out in sunlight. You know, it's really hard to see it. So that was one thing I didn't like. I know those, like the Garmin Zumo XT, has a very bright display on it that's easy to see and easy to read during the daytime. So I don't know, maybe I'll try one, maybe I won't, but I've been really happy with the functionality of the Gaia GPS application and all the maps that you can do. Yeah, now we're getting to, I don't know what it is, because it's not like it's necessarily any brighter right now than it was before, but now my display on my phone, I can hardly see it. Well, this is by far the worst road we've been on so far. Oh, look at that. Oh, this crap sucks. I'm stuck in a rut. I don't see Ethan yet. That's not good. I saw a big cloud of dust. Uh-oh. His foot. Hold on, Ethan, I'm coming. His foot's caught underneath the bike. Yeah, this is the worst spot. Here, let me see the handlebar. Oh, man. Hold on. Okay. All right. What's that?
It fell over there. And then it got up and it fell again.
Alright. Well, looks like we got another helper here. I mean, let's see. Ready?
Used to ride a Harley, you know?
1, 2, 3. There we go. My bike's just up ahead off the side.
I seen you guys yesterday. Go.
Alright.
Going on, guys.
Well, thank you. Oh, my bike tipped over. I thought I had it set there nicely. Well, apparently it wasn't as secure as I thought. This is its first tip over. So, 1, 2. Oh wait, I'm grabbing the light. I don't want to grab that. 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Is that brake?
Yeah, my bark buster should have protected it. Appreciate it. Well, my first bike tip over, and I wasn't even on it or near it. I haven't assessed the damage yet, but hopefully the bark busters did their job. Let's get out of this sandy crap. Oh, I think my my side view mirror has either come loose or broken, one of the two. But I left them on here knowing that I would put my adventure mirrors on sooner or later. Figured I might as well run these until I broke them. Alright, here's the current state of my mirror after the tip over. Don't know if it's ruined or not. Not that I really care, because I'm going to replace it, but I do need to get home on the highway. So it'd be nice to have my mirror working. Tightened up my mirror, so now I can see out of it. Ephraim's Grave, Trail 56. It's funny when you map stuff out because you have no idea what the actual road's going to be like. You know, you see the roads that look like more major Forest Service roads than others. I figured, you know, the sections that were part of the Utah Backcountry Discovery Route would be a little more challenging because it's part of the BDR. And thought that what I mapped for the return home today was going to be an easier route, but it's kind of the opposite. This has been more challenging. At least until we get down to Ant Flat Road. It's been sandy, rocky, rutted. Oh, what we got here? I need the kickstand foot extender for stuff like this. Feels like it's going to tip over. I don't know. That's what we're going to find out here. Where are we exactly? Well, the top of the trail said Ephraim's Grave. So I'm assuming it has something to do with someone by the name of Ephraim. In memoriam. This rugged 4 1/2 ton native stone is symbolic of a giant grizzly bear called Old Ephraim. Well, I think I remember stories of Old Ephraim when I was in elementary school, who ranged this area for many years, killing sheep, cattle, and game, and was trapped, shot, and buried near here in August of 1923 by Frank Clark. Wow, upright, 9 feet 11 inches, 1,100 pounds. Wow. I know this only has the Apex suspension compared to the WP Explorer suspension that the R model has, and I haven't put it on anything really obnoxiously gnarly, but so far, even though we've been going through these rutted out areas and, you know, grapefruit size, cantaloupe size rocks at times, I've been impressed with it. I haven't, you know, noticed it bottom out. I just turned the motorcycle traction control off on this to see if I notice any difference when I'm going up hills. I noticed, and Ethan noticed too, that you lose power as it's trying to make its adjustments while you're slipping going up a hill. So you kind of get on the throttle and it doesn't seem like there's much there. I don't know, maybe that's a good thing, maybe not. It just feels weird when you're used to not having that on like a dirt bike. And when you have like a 900cc engine and you're like ripping on the throttle and it's not doing anything, it seems odd. Yeah, see, and I can tell right now going up this hill, even though my back wheel is spinning a little because of the loose rock, I don't feel the loss of power in the throttle. I feel like I can crank that throttle and it's gonna spin that wheel. Yeah, I have noticed a couple of times with this front tire, it's the Motoz Dual Venture tire. They used to have the Motoz Adventure front tire, which would match up with the Motoz Adventure rear tire that I have on, but they had a lot of complaints about its performance on the road, so they made some adjustments and made the Dual Venture tire, which was a good tire on the road. I can tell you that even though it's more aggressive than my Avon tire, there have been a few times where, you know, my front tires, you know, kind of slipped out for me a little bit. And you know, traction on the front tire is really important as you're tracking through sand, loose rocks. So it's a trade-off for sure. I still don't think I'd go to a more aggressive off-road tire right now at the expense of, you know, having a terrible experience on the road, since we're doing quite a bit of on-road as part of this trip. Right-hand spring. I'm on the 390. Oh, what a different feel this is. Feels much smaller. Feels much lighter. You know, when I look at them side by side, you know, the 890 of course is bigger, but it doesn't look that much bigger when they're sitting side by side. You know, a lot of that probably has to do with, on the 890, all that weight of the tank is down low, not up high, and on the 390 your tank's up on the top, so if you're kind of looking at it from a top perspective, they do look similar. But just riding this like this, it just feels like such a much smaller bike. Suspension, this actually feels just a little bit bumpier in my opinion, even though they both have the Apex suspension. Trying to get the feel for the tires he has on these Metzlers. They're not a real aggressive tire, but he seemed to do fine with them. Big difference will be once you get on the highway, but certainly off-road, you know, just having ridden this for a couple minutes right here, this feels like a bike I'd be very happy with. After riding the KTM 390 for only a couple minutes, but I asked Ethan his feelings, and he said some of the same things. It feels a lot bigger, especially up right here around the legs. He did also say that he felt it was a little smoother from a suspension perspective. You know, the tires certainly might have an impact on the feel, but he agreed that the 390 just it feels so much smaller, which in stuff like this, in my opinion, is a good thing. I mean, I don't know what having bigger in this kind of stuff buys you. What's that? This way? Oh, my head is so plugged up. Pig Hole Trailhead, that's it. There is the ranger station. I am very grateful that we have as much public land as we do in Utah and in the West, whether that be National Forest Service, state parks, what have you. It's nice to be able to come out and just ride in places like that. Out here in the West, we have so many options to ride this beautiful country. And we are on asphalt again. Hey, I just used the quick shifter. Used it again. Sign that said the Hardware Ranch Wildlife Management Area. So we're nearing Hardware Ranch. Oh, looks like we're getting onto dirt road again. So this is Amp Flat Road. Very well graded. Loose gravel. Continuing on Amp Flat Road. See how wide open it is up here. We are back on Highway 39, Monte Cristo. It'll be all asphalt the rest of the way home. We're back in Mountain Green. Here we are, at the end of our journey.